Pastor Madeline. I'm so glad you're here with me this morning, and I'm super excited because we've been talking all month about, that's right, peace. And peace is proving you care more about each other than winning an argument. And peace is kind of like building a bridge. I'm sitting on a nice bridge right now, and peace is like, even though I'm on this side of the bridge and I think or feel one way, and my friend or my sibling or a family member, whoever, is on this side of the bridge and they think or feel opposite to me, okay? Now there's a gap because I think chocolate chip cookies are better and my brother thinks sugar cookies with sprinkles are better. And we're fighting on which cookies we're gonna buy at the store. But peace is building a bridge and meeting in the middle somewhere. And that means that we actually value each other. Now, value. That reminds me of something. Oh yeah, our love rules. Do you guys know what the V in love rules stands for? That's right, valuing others. And when you value others, you treat the other person like how you would want to be treated. Now we're going to talk about someone today. Her name is Abigail, and she is so creative and smart in how she decides to build peace. So I'm excited to learn about her story. We're going to learn about that super soon. But let's go ahead and worship God first. And let's show him how much we value him, because he loves us so much and we need to show him how much we love him too. So wherever you are, let's all stand up together and we're going to worship.
Even when I'm lost in darkness, you will always take What's up, everybody? It's me, Jacob. And today, you're gonna help me solve a mystery. The case of the mysterious envelope. Dun, dun, dun! What do you think it is? Is it a thank you gift? A prank? A peace offering? Actually, peace is what we're talking about today. Peace is proving you care more about each other than winning an argument. But that doesn't get me any closer to finding out what's inside this package. I feel like I should be wearing gloves for this. Yeah. Monkey bridge? What's a monkey bridge? A few twigs and some string, but no instructions. Another mystery. Dun, dun, dun! I mean, clearly this is a bridge building kit. Well, maybe the sticks are the decking? But how do maybe I'm supposed to weave it together. This doesn't make any sense. I gotta get creative. I gotta think outside the box to find a solution. Actually, that's exactly what someone in today's story did. Now, how do you build a monkey bridge?
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story, inspired by the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 25.
God had promised David would be king, but for now, King Saul ruled Israel. David lived his life on the run, followed by a group of misfits who had become friends and servants. One day, they arrived in the desert of Paran, near the land of a wealthy man named Nabal, who owned 3,000 sheep.
We'll set up camp here, man.
At first, Nabal's servants didn't know what to think.
Too many strangers around these parts. We've had food and sheep go missing.
But David's men were honorable. They didn't try to steal from the shepherds. In fact, David protected Nabal's shepherds from any harm.
Stay as long as you like, my friend.
About time for sheep shearing, isn't it?
Oh, yes. Nabal will hold a grand feast when it's all over. Your men have helped us, so they should share in the celebration.
David called for 10 of his men and gave them a message to send to Nabal.
On it.
David's messengers hurried up the mountain to Nabal's estate and were brought to stand before him.
Well, what do you want?
Nabal sneered down at the men while he continued to chew on a fine leg of mutton.
David says, may you live long, may things go well with you.
Continue.
He says, I hear that you are clipping the wool off your sheep. When your shepherds were with us, we treated them well and protected them. Now please be kind to my men. Please give us any food you can find for us.
Nabal leapt from his seat and hurled the mutton bone across the room.
Who is this David? Probably a runaway servant. Why should I give bread and meat to a nobody and his men who come from who knows where?
David's men returned to camp and delivered the news.
Oh, no, he didn't.
Oh, yes, he did.
Men, put on your swords. We'll make Nabal wish he hadn't.
At no time at all, David and 400 of his men were marching up the mountain to confront Nabal. It seemed there was no stopping a battle. But Nabal's wife, Abigail, was far wiser than her husband. A servant told her what he had done.
David sent messengers asking for food, but Nabal shouted and was rude to them.
Go on.
The whole time we were near them, David's men were good to us. They were like a wall, keeping us safe. You've got to do something now, or terrible trouble will come.
There's no time to waste.
Abigail quickly directed her servants to gather supplies and put them on donkeys.
200 loaves of bread,
Check.
5 sheep,
Check.
1 bushel of cooked grain,
Check.
100 cakes of raisins, and 200 cakes of figs.
Check. And check.
Well, you go on ahead. I'll follow.
The donkeys, loaded with good food, started down the mountain. Abigail got on her donkey and followed. From the valley, David and his men were approaching.
Everything we've done has been worthless. I watched over this fellow's property, but he's paid me back evil for good. We'll wipe him out.
As David's anger grew, though, he spotted something along the path. A pack of donkeys.
What's this?
It looks like they're carrying something. Food for a feast, I'd say.
Behind the pack of donkeys, Abigail prepared for what lay ahead.
I must stop this.
The moment Abigail saw David, she slid off her donkey and fell face down on the ground before his feet.
Please, let me speak. Let me take the blame for Nabal's actions.
Abigail raised her eyes just enough to notice David's surprised face. He nodded.
Don't pay attention to Nabal. He's always doing foolish things. I'm sorry I didn't get to see your messengers, but I've brought a gift for you. Right now, the Lord has kept you from killing Nabal and his men. Let the Lord deal with your enemies.
Abigail rose to her feet. David and his men listened, surprised by the strength of her message.
You fight the Lord's battles, so he will give your family line a kingdom that will last. He'll make you ruler of Israel. And when he does, you won't have a heavy load on your mind about killing people with no reason. The Lord will give you success. When that happens, please remember me.
Abigail took a deep breath and waited. David smiled.
Give praise to the Lord. He sent you to find me. May he bless you for this. You have kept me from using my own hands to get even.
David's men unloaded the food that Abigail had brought.
Go home in peace. I'll do what you have asked.
Abigail made her way back up the hillside to her home. She had chosen to humble herself and do the hard yet creative work of making peace. In the end, Nabal paid the high price for his foolish anger, but God blessed Abigail.
The fight between Nabal and David wasn't Abigail's problem, but she didn't use that as an excuse. She got involved. She acted fast, and she found a creative solution. You see, just because something isn't your problem doesn't mean you can't get involved. God has given each one of us unique talents and unique ways of seeing things. So, if you see people in a fight and you're the only one who can see a way to make peace, you should help them solve that mystery. Jesus showed us how important making peace was to him when he gave his life on the cross. We can make peace with others by being part of the solution. You can help calm an argument between two people by making them laugh. You can suggest solutions to problems that others might not see. Or if a fight looks like it might get dangerous, you can find a grown-up to help keep the peace. The one thing to remember today is this: you can show you care about others by being part of the solution. So this week, be on the lookout for creative ways to build bridges between people in your small part of the world. I'm gonna have to get pretty creative myself. Here's what the bridge is supposed to look like. Mystery solved! You know, if that bridge was full-sized, I could cross an entire canyon on that one thin little rope. But first I'd need to solve my fear of heights problem. Dun dun dun! I'll see you next time!
Wow, way to go, Abigail. That is so awesome that she took the blame for Nabal. And we see through her example that God can use all of us to build bridges of peace between two people that are struggling to find peace. And you know what? God did that for us. God sent Jesus, and Jesus came here, and he was the ultimate bridge of peace because he saw that there was something in us that kept us from him. The sin, the brokenness, the hurt in our hearts, we had to be saved from that. And we had to have Jesus come here and die on a cross and raise from the grave so that he could build the bridge of peace between us and him, so that we can be with him forever. And we are so thankful for that. And what's really cool is because Jesus built a bridge of peace, now we get to build bridges of peace with other people. Because you can show you care about others by being part of the solution. Now, sometimes it can seem easier to stay out of problems. And you can just say, I see that my friends are arguing, but it's easier for me to stay on the outside and just not be a part of it, not join in. But I want to encourage you guys, be a part of the peace building, because it is so awesome to be a peacemaker. And if you have two friends that are in an argument, maybe you just step in and you say, hey guys, I think that we need to have a conversation. I think you guys need to talk this out and work some things out. And then you just sit there with them and you don't pick a side. Okay, that's important. Don't pick sides. But you gotta sit there and you gotta be that friend that says, you guys need to talk this out and we need to come to peace. Or maybe you see that some people at school are picking on another kid, and you go and you defend that kid and you say, listen, I'm thankful for his friendship. I think he's awesome, and you support him and you be that bridge of peace to help people. And that is so great, because this week I am gonna pray for us in a minute, and I pray that we would be like Abigail, that we would build bridges of peace in our families, in our friends, in our schools, with everyone, that we would be peacemakers this week. So if you'll pray with me, we're gonna bow our heads, close our eyes, and we're gonna pray. We're gonna ask God to help us do the hard work of building peace. Here we go. Jesus, I thank you so much for the example that Abigail gives us in the Bible of what it looks like to be a peacemaker and build bridges of peace. And sometimes that's really hard and it can be really scary. And so God, I pray you would give us strength and courage this week to be peacemakers. No matter what, but with our friends and our families and our siblings, God, that we would build bridges of peace and we would be people who recognize that we value others. All people we value so much because of what your son Jesus did when he came to earth, and he loved all of us so much that he died on a cross so that we could live forever with you. And so I pray we would treat all people with respect and value this week and build peace. We love you so much, and I pray we'd all have a wonderful week. In your name, amen. All right, guys, I love you, and I hope you have a wonderful week, and I cannot wait to see all the ways that you build bridges of peace in your own lives. Have a good week.